I'd like to start out today by saying welcome to the Long Beach Public Library, Long Beach Memories. And my thanks have to go out to Doug Scheer for sharing his canal photos from past and for current with the renovation of the walls. And he gave me such great pictures. I thank you so much, Doug Scheer. Joanna Belli, who's on our program today, who wrote the Lido Club. I thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an inspiration to work with you and it's incredible what your book has covered. Chuck Jacoby, Lester Capel, and to all my Long Beach friends online, on Facebook. When I put out a question, of course, everybody gets back to me like in 10 seconds flat. And it really, really adds to my research because these are things that you're not going to find in a book. These are the things that we know. It's our lore, it's our history, it's our oral history, and it's wonderful. So I started out with the Lido de Venezia, which is in Venice, Italy. And this photograph, it says it's an 11-kilometer barrier island off the Venetian lagoon in northern Italy. Looks very, very similar to where we are, doesn't it? Except for it's in Europe. And here's our canals. The Canals of Lido. When I was doing research on the canals, I had no idea what I was looking for because when I did the canals of Long Beach, I couldn't find them. And so I said, well, I kept finding articles and newspaper print on the canals of Lido. And I'm like, you know what? That has to be us because where else would this be? And sure enough, there it is. This map is Senator Reynolds' second rendition of the Estates of Long Beach. This is established 1914. You could see the channel and you could see the middle of town, which is what his earlier map would be around 1908. This is an updated version and you could see it goes very far east, but it's not the way we know it now. So this is a great map. And then we're leading right into the golf course. Reason why? Because Senator Reynolds wanted to build a golf course. So he hires, if I'm not wrong, Charles Blair McDonald and Seth Rayner, who are the designers of this course and many, many other courses over the world in Lido. And it says this is from 1914 to 1918. And this is by them, they're the architects. And this club was founded in 1914. And it shows you all the pars on the course. And of course, the Lido golf course currently does not encompass the size of the course that it did back in 1914. This course goes over Lido Boulevard, which would have been a 2-lane street. And it goes from the bay all the way to the ocean. Here's a great ad in the Brooklyn Eagle dated February 4th, 1915. Golf at Long Beach all year round. So already it's a year down the pike and they're advertising golf being played all year round at this course. And of course, this course was named one of the best courses of all time. The way they built the course is just the way he built Long Beach Reynolds. Reynolds and the two designers had to dredge in all the sand to build the course and to plant thousands and thousands of plants of grass to build the course. This was not here naturally. We are a marshland, and you know the marsh because you pass it when you're on the parkway. There was no physical land. They had to build this from scratch, just like he did Long Beach. He filled in this area of Lido to become the Lido that we know today and Long Beach. Here's one of the pars with the bridge, and you could see the marsh and how he built the course. This is amazing. It's not only supposedly one of the best courses that was designed in the world, but one of the most difficult. This brings us to a 1922 map And you could see very down here in this left corner, this is Maple Boulevard right here. Here is where the Lido complex would be now. The course is here. And then looking east, it says proposed. So there is already in the back of Senator Reynolds' mind that he's proposing the building of this new community. What we now know as Lido Beach, all the way to Point Lookout. So this is a great map.
Oh, okay. The reason I guess because it was
So Lido Beach, I had a discussion with the gentleman who was a land surveyor whom I just got contact with about a day or so ago. And I've been searching for a map that encompasses the changes past Blackheath Road from Maple Boulevard, Blackheath Road going east, and I wasn't able to find a map. I was not able to find a map. But this gentleman said, call the county and you'll find this map. And he gave me the number, and this is it. He said, this is the Lido Dunes lots filed at the Nassau County Clerk's office by Senator Reynolds on July 27th, 1926. And you could see up here, it says William Reynolds, president. And basically, he was the president of the Lido. Basically, his incorporation was Lido, the Lido Realty Corporation. And this now is not the area that I was looking for, but it's so amazing that in 1926, this is, how do you say, Boulevard, all the way to Prescott. These are where those houses are now. On the other side of this, then, of course, east are your beach clubs. So this is an amazing map, and I thanked him so much, but I'm still in search of that other map, and it's a little bit of the piece of the puzzle that I didn't have time to finish, unfortunately. So that's my next, I'm not gonna leave this go until I find it. Now we have August 16th, 1925, the Brooklyn Eagle says that at a cost of $2,500,000, they're securing and starting the building of the Lido Club Hotel. So he is already in the 14, then you have World War I, and things get stifled, and his ideas are in the back of his mind, and this is what he wants to build. So then he's building the luxury hotel, and the Lido Club Golf is all the precepts of the canals. All of this comes to fruition. Here's an aerial shot that was provided to me, I think, by Doug Scher. This is 1926. You could see from the air, you could see the Lido Club. You could see the hotel here, and you could see the golf course. You also see that the dredges are already begun here, which are the beginnings of the canals. So this very first canal would be the Bob Jones. This is a better shot. It's a little bit more clear. This is the Bob Jones Canal, and then the next one would be the Hagen. So this is where Clark Street is. You can see the beginnings of 4 or 5 houses here. And this is around, I'd say probably like 26, 27. Or it could be a little later, because I think the Lido Club opened in 28. So it's probably even later than that. You see your quads here, and this is still the golf course. Here's an aerial now that is inclusive of the Forge. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have the Bob Jones, you have the Hagen, the Quinmet, and the Saracen. And you could see there's more building going on here. Not completely, but there's a lot more. Where the area here, which is the President Streets, there's a lot more building here. This is a great map, aerial map. In 1927, it still says the villages and localities that are shown on the next map you're going to see. Lido Beach has not been defined here. It still says Long Beach. And I actually spoke to the tax assessor's office and the person dealing with the maps. And they said to me on most of the assessments that were done in 38, when the town of Hempstead became part where they were taxing the properties, those houses we know in the quads were built in the early 20s, say 23, 24. And you know what? They don't have the dates on these houses. What they have is when they inspected the properties in 1938, when they came into being, they said, well, this house has been here -10 or -15. And it dates the houses back to like 23 or 24, but it doesn't have an original diagram from the original when the houses were built. It's just from 38. So that was interesting because I was wondering, how did they date the houses? That's the way they did it. She explained to me how they did it. And when you're reading these maps that are the ones that you could look up your land records for free online, that's what you're looking at. Here is the map that's attached to that. So you see Long Beach, you see Maple Boulevard, you see the Lido Club, you see the golf course. So that's what she was saying. This is still considered Long Beach. I have not found the map to prove otherwise yet, but that's in the works. I'm trying to still look for it. They call this Paradise. He said this is the country club and the golf resort at the beach. You could see the houses are starting to come about in the canal area. Here's the quads and here's the hotel. This is a fabulous shot. Joanna, look at the top of the Lido here. Doesn't that look different?
Yes, it does. It looks like there's some kind of a spire on the top of the cupolas.
Right? I've not seen that in any shot before. This is the first time I've seen that.
This is an interesting shot.
Yeah, that's from the book from Charles Blair McDonald that I made those copies for you. That's the one I borrowed from out of state. This was like amazing. So I had to show you this because look, they're playing golf right next to the hotel.
This must be the east side of the hotel.
Yeah.
And this is looking in from the beach.
Right.
This is so cool. And there's like a tennis, you see like a tennis net here or maybe a badminton or something right here. And there's a flag. And then here, of course, is where they built the clubhouse and they're playing golf here. So we're all thinking, what does this have to do with the canals? Well, these are the precepts of his idea, his vision, Reynolds, was to go east. And the way he started it was with the golf course. Of course, we're interrupted by the war. And then he builds the hotel, which is beautiful, the Lido Club. Now you have a resort. You have your golf course, your hotel, where you can wine and dine, play golf, and have the best of everything at the shore. This is like so cool. And then, of course, the canals is all inclusive of this plan. I actually found this, Joanna. This is beautiful. This is the recreation. It's a shot of the recreation of what they're going to build, the course that you told me about. So I had to include this because this is not here. This is going to be in Wisconsin. This is beautiful. Look at this. They say this is going to open in 2023.
Yes, it's amazing. I keep in touch regularly with Peter Flory, who's really the one that's designing it.
That's amazing. Now here is a map that is much more clear. It didn't have a date on this. I think it's in the later 20s, but you see it says Lido Beach. It has the 4 lanes. So this is much later because it doesn't say distinguished by the 2-lane service roads, and it says the Lido Golf Course. So I'm not sure when this is. Can't date this one. It had no date on it, but I like this because you see it more clearly how it's plotted out. This is the map that I found in the library, and it was so big that I had to take down piece by piece and try to piece it together. But it gives you an idea of Long Beach with the extension of the east. And you see the canals here in the right, you see the golf course, and you see the Lido Club at the bottom. It does not have a date on it. The gentleman who drew this, their office was in Rockville Center. I looked them up on the census. They lived in Rockville Center. They had their business in Rockville Center. And it says Nassau County, New York. When I called the assessor's office and I spoke to the gentleman in maps, he does not have this map. So I don't have a date. But this is the map that I would be looking for with the proper date to show the encompass of the new area. This would be great if they had a date on this. This is like amazing. And this map I cut very gently and I scanned the pieces. This map was about, I'd say 18 or 20 inches by 56 when light out. So, well, Mr. Reynolds, Senator Reynolds, he was the former state senator for New York. He was a young man. He became Long Beach mayor. And at this point in 1924, when he starts dredging the canals, they said he committed accounts of grand larceny with the other gentleman, John Garcia. Now, of course, all of his, they were exonerated from this, and I think there were more than 2 times when this happened. But these are the monies that he basically put his own personal money to make the investments to do these things, and then tried to get them back. This particular article in the Brooklyn Eagle, dated June 27th, 1925, it basically says that he's asking for a new map to include the new canals. And this is 1925. He had these canals dredged in 24, already had an issue with the law. He's brought up on charges of basically not handling of money correctly while he was mayor. And actually, Mayor Dalton, who would become Mayor Dalton after Mayor Reynolds, Mayor Dalton is his like right-hand man, because when he goes to jail, Dalton is running Long Beach. And when it's funny, when he gets released from jail, he comes back to Long Beach to assume his position as mayor, and Mayor Dalton says, no, I'm in right now, and now we're going to have to take it to a vote. And basically, he runs against the other person who becomes mayor. Dalton doesn't become mayor then after this. It's somebody else. And we'll maybe talk about that on another program. But this is so interesting how he dredges these in 24, goes to jail, comes back, and basically now has to deal with what's going to happen with this area. Another article dated August 10, 25, right here in the very top, it says they're going to extend the boardwalk, which we know now ends at Neptune Beach, all the way to the Lido Club. So, and he's saying that the development in the Canals of Lido properties are sold out. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, because your area is expanding, I found this very interesting, that they're also looking to open or try to find, do we need another fire company? Because now we're so far away from the center of town where they have the volunteers. Are they going to add more for people for fire protection? And this is whether or not they're going to do that. And they have to reorganize to develop this part of the city. Do we need another fire department? And of course, we know today we have one on Maple Boulevard at the corner. Now we're at September 1925, the Canals of Lido. He's saying they're selling like hotcakes. You know, he's trying to tell everybody how many lots they've sold. And it tells you all the people that they sold to. And it's amazing that they're doing this. And most of these people are from New York and they're investors. So we're going to see what happens. This article didn't sound too good. This was like November 1st. Parts of the Lido Canal work is flimsy. The engineer reports that to the Long Beach officials that they have not done a good job with this, that the canals are not designed to grade, the velocity of the water, the sewer, everything is not good. They're saying this is not a good place to be. And at the prices that they're selling these lots, they're going from between $1,200 and $5,000. You're talking about in the early 20s. This is a lot of money. They're saying this is not what they should be. This can't happen. And they're telling you, the engineers are saying this is wrong and they need to fix this. What do you think he does? Does he fix it? I'm not sure because I live here and there's still problems with the sewers. What do you think, guys, who live down here? In July of 27, here, $700,000 for 300 lots. Day is auctioning again. It sounds like that they're not getting rid of the lots like they said. And we're going to see as the progression of this, that this is the case. Even though this is a great area, it's not selling the way they say it's selling. People are making investments. I don't see them building that fast. These plots are on the Bob Jones Canal, opposite the Lido Club, of course, and all the way down to Park Street. So they're selling lots all over Long Beach, all the way through by the Lido Club. We're now in July. He's having another sale today. This is the third and final session of the auction at Long Beach. William H. Reynolds, the founder, at 2 p.m. at the Lido Hotel. They're going to be auctioning again another $700,000 worth of lots. The Canals of Lido district, the East Home, all the way down through Park Street. So Senator Reynolds made his investments with his own money in the development of Lido. He advertises these properties as the Canals of Lido, the future Venice of America. And of course, here are our streets. The canals are with the asterisk, which is Sarrazin, the Quinmet, you have the Thehagen and the Bob Jones. Now, interesting enough, the Bob Jones Canal all the way through Blackheath Road lies halfway in Long Beach. And I think Lester even told me this morning that some of the property backyards of those homes are still in Long Beach and part of them is in Lido Beach. So even the backyards are partially Long Beach. I wonder how that works out with your taxes. The only two that are not named after golfers, of course, let me see, where are we? Is Farrell, and where's one more? And Dalton, because Dalton was the mayor, and I think Farrell is the gentleman who was the real estate person, and I think he's from the West End. Here's Walter Hagen, famous golfer, 1920s. These are the signs that are designated at the front of the canals. So they're saying this is for the Thehagen Canal. Francis Quinmet, this is the Quinmet Canal. The Sarrazin Canal. And of course you get to the Bob Jones and there's no sign. I wonder why that is, because there's no bridge and the canal is bordering on Lido Beach. So there's no sign depicting the Bob Jones, but here's Bobby Jones in 1921, beautiful picture. As I said, Chuck Jacoby always comes through for me with the shots. And I found this article in the Brooklyn Eagle. This is showing how he is talking about how he's beating the winds at the game at the Lido. So this is beautiful. This is the Thehagen Canal. The Thehagen is where Clark Street is. So you're looking at Clark Street, the canal, and you're looking east. And here's some of the very first buildings. I don't think these are around anymore because they don't look anything like the houses that are there right now. But it's a sad thing that with progress, of course, you lose some of your history. Brooklyn Eagle, now we're in 1932. We're down the road a long way. Day is to handle the real estate at Long Beach. And the reason is because Senator Reynolds has passed away. He is appointed in charge of the estate and the estate holdings. 3 gentlemen owned the estates along with William Reynolds is 3 people, and all the properties, only 1 person was still alive. So they asked Day to then continuing the auctioning of the properties to the line all the way through and down through Point Lookout and parts of properties that are on the boardwalk. Long Beach auction, this is again 1932. He's still trying to auction off lots, especially in the canals. They have not sold, not the way they thought they would sell. In the first opening, they said, oh, everything is almost done. We're almost sold out. Well, not quite. You could see even in 32 that they're not done yet. Again, builders buy Long Beach auction lots. Final sale yesterday, home seekers on the oceanfront all the way to the bay. They're still trying to get rid of these lots. They can't get rid of them. So Senator Reynolds has passed away, and they're still trying to sell the lots. This was his dream. It's not doing so well. Land sales show gain again in Long Beach. New dwellings have been erected. I don't think it's as much as they thought. There's a housing shortage in Lido Beach, Point Lookout. They're trying to rent, furnish, and unfurnished homes. So they're building homes now and they're renting them. It's not even at a point of sale at this point. They're even trying to rent them. So they're trying to build and rent, either furnished or unfurnished. This is 1932. This is a huge, huge ad in the Brooklyn Eagle. Prices slashed, bargains. So they're going down, the lots are now $500, not $12. They're trying to get rid of these lots up in Lido, which is what they call the Canals of Lido. They're trying to get rid of lots. They have lots of lots and they can't sell them. At $1,200, they're down to $481. They're saying put $30 down and you could buy yourself a lot and build a house. Here's another one, an auction again, October 1932. This is all about trying to get rid of properties. It's not working out the way they want. Another auction. Now we're almost 12 years later. They're still trying to get rid of the lots. The Canals of Lido, even though we're on the bay, they did not buy these lots and the houses were not built as fast as they would have liked. So from 32 now we're down to 1946. They're still trying to get rid of the properties. This is an overview from the top, 1956. Now we see a lot of homes. Now we're going to talk about the actual buildings. So before 1968, the canal bridges are not the way they are today. As you could see, there's only a very slight water access here. Not enough for a boat to go through, and just planks of wood sticking out. Can you see that? This is like an amazing shot. These are the span bridges that used to exist before the 68 renovation. Here, they're changing over from the wood spikes to the steel. Here's they're also putting in the steel. So this is in the 67 to 68. This is the Thehagen Canal. They like to take pictures of this canal because of the house on the left. I think it's a beautiful house. It always reminded me of like the Arabian Nights when I was a kid. So coming around from Clark Street, I always admired this home. Also the bridges, which is the renovated bridges, not the ones we saw in the prior shot, you could actually now with a boat go underneath the bridges. And you could see from the top, you could see through the irons, which are the walkways here. This is a great shot. This is looking west. And this is Clark Street. And this is East Pine.
Yep.
Now, in 2000, when they were doing the renovation of the bridges, they also replaced a lot of the steel structures and actually the concrete pilings to the bottom because they found asbestos. So even into 2000, 2001, with the renovation, there was asbestos being removed from the water because it's the pilings are going into the water. So it's amazing that so many years later, now we're in 21, we're getting a renovation again. They had to renovate these walls and the pilings underneath because there was asbestos found. And here's the creation in 2003 with the new bridges that we're on today. And this is how they did these. They're beautiful. This is from 2003. This is a great shot. These are beautiful. Now we have a totally different look when we look down the canal area. This is all gone. This house now is a very, very, very big house on the corner. This house was torn down and I kind of miss it. This is right on the Sarazen. This is a beautiful little house. It always reminded me like a Hansel and Gretel kind of thing with the little, the round, when you come in the entrance here, it's gone. They knocked this down. It's very sad, but somebody they built a beautiful house there now. There's another shot of it. This is gorgeous. This is the new bridge. This is probably walking through to Clark Street, from Clark Street. Now we have the Clark Street playground. You have a new playground. It's not like this when I was little, not totally changed. And you can actually walk around here by the water. It's very pretty. This is the renovation now, thanks Doug Shear. They're taking out the old walls and they're putting in the higher ones. This is now 2021. This is a big job. And here's how it looks now. You see these? This is the higher ones. This side is done. This is by the park. Now, in the 40s, the developer, Gordon, built 200 homes in the canals, and they called them day houses. And they said that they called them day houses because of the large picture windows, and it lets in all the light. And this is one. This is 24 Curly, and right next to it is 22 Curly. They have similar houses. This is beautiful, and it still has the beautiful tile at the top. This is Clark Street. You see the windows? They're very tiny houses, and they do have beautiful, you know, very large windows for light. This is Harmon Street. This is Barnes. This house just renovated, and they took out that single window and they put 2 single windows. So they took the big window out. So this had 1 big window. I love these houses. This is Harmon. This is East Pine. And this is the house that we saw earlier. This is the original house. Mm-hmm. This is the original house. And this is how they redid the house when they lifted it recently. So the lift, actually, they did a beautiful job, even though you can't keep everything. So they enclosed their archways, which were on the porch, and they made them windows. So this is beautiful. They did a nice job. I really like that because they didn't want to destroy the whole thing. And the dome, of course, is gone. There's no more dome on the top. This is Barnes. And of course, William H. Reynolds, builder, died age 63. He was the youngest senator in the state of New York. He was 24 when he became senator. This is his obituary from the New York Times. He passed away in October 14, 1931. I don't like the picture that they used, but this is right out of the New York Times. The article is about maybe 2 columns long about his, you know, in his obituary. And basically, the shot right next to this is when he was at Dreamland. And he's young there. So I had to put that because I didn't like the picture the Times used for his obit.